This is the Talkshow with Vic, aka Mr. Never Chillin, and I am here today on episode number 16 with a unique and upcoming artist here, Tristan Bond.
How you guys doing? What's going on?
Not much, man. Thanks for joining me today.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me. When you reached out and asked about wanting to participate, it was a must. So no, thank you for having me, man. Appreciate you.
Of course, man. Of course. If you can just go ahead and introduce yourself, like who you are, what do you do for a living, maybe like a fun fact about yourself, or anything else you want to throw out there.
Yeah. Well, on Instagram, I go by Bond of Art. My real name is Tristan Bond. I like to play off that Bond of Art. So it's go either way. Bond of Art, which is like kind of art bonds us together. I feel like art is bonded to our DNA, is who we are. We're meant to create. We're meant to show people our creations and do art. And also like Bond of Art, it's like I feel like James Bond is like he's the man of espionage. So it's like if you're the Bond of art, I feel like you're the man of art, you know. So I feel like it plays both ways. But besides me doing my passion, which is art, I'm also a massage therapist. I've been a massage therapist. Yeah, I've been a massage therapist at the Hotel Hershey Spa for about 13 years now. So it's been good to me. So I've been doing that. I love doing that because I feel like it's also an art form as well. Massage school, they kind of give you the basics of everything, but you kind of take it as your own and you do what you want with it. Fun fact about me. Oh man,
Shit, that was a fun fact about you. Honestly, I didn't even know you did that shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not too bad. You get to meet a lot of interesting people. There's a lot of characters out there. So, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. But let's get into the reason why we're all here today. We're going to start off by talking about your art journey. We talked about how you're a local artist here at Harrisburg, but what kind of art do you do? Because there's tons of different styles of art. What kind of art do you do?
It's wild to put, in my opinion, to put mine in a category. I guess I feel like it's meshed with a whole bunch.
Okay.
There's sometimes I'll do some things that's kind of like surrealism mixed with pop art mixed with illustration type of art. I used to do stippling for a while. For people who aren't familiar with stippling, it's imagery created by a whole bunch of dots. So I used to do that for a while. I used to do a lot of just black and white stuff too. And I kind of strayed from that. I do a lot of color now. Everything I do basically pops with color, oozes with color. So
right, you can definitely see it right there behind you because those are some of your pieces, right?
Oh yeah. So yeah, this is a new piece right here. I just did that for this past Saturday's art exhibit at Crown Plaza with King Prolific and Darius Levin. And then this one did a while ago too, and there's a little wood piece down there as well. But yeah, and then also I do murals too. So I do a lot of spray paint. So I've been getting into that. And that's tricky, man. That's when I first picked up a can, I'm like, oh, I can just it's fine. But a lot of it has to do with can control. Like even the way you hold your can and the way you position and how hard you press on a can, you can get different lines and different widths and different effects from it. So it's definitely been a learning experience, but
for fun. Sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's always cool to like try different art styles or just pushing your limits too, because like you have such a creative mind. You're just like, well, how can I be creative here or do it this way or change it up too? Because you may see one style and you could be like, yo, I can change it and do it this way too.
And I get that a lot sometimes at venues. I'll have some prints, I have some canvases, I have some pieces that I do on wood as well. I've had a couple people say like it seems like there's a whole bunch of different styles with each different piece you do. And I feel like being an artist, why just be great at one thing when you can be like great at multiple type of different that you well-faceted, you know, artist is I feel like is definitely something to be for sure. I strive to be like that. So
it definitely makes sense. So when did you get started and why did you get started into creating art?
Oh man. So I remember the earliest memory of me when I first got started. My cousin Junior, right? He's basically, I don't know if you had this or not growing up, but kind of had like an older brother, or older cousin, or someone you kind of looked up to. You follow around, and maybe sometimes being a little bit annoying, falling around so much. But he was that for me. So like everything he'd do, I'm like, oh, I want to do that. My cousin, like, he does this, I want to do that. But he used to draw a lot. And I remember he drew Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat, like the very first. It was either Mortal Kombat 1 or 2. But you remember the gamer guides, the books that you be able to get back in the day, the cheat codes and everything, up, down, left, right, all that stuff.
Right.
So he had books like that. So he had an image of Sonya Blade in the book. He drew that like perfect. I'm like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. So like I went and I tried to do it and get it down pat as best as I could. And when it finally got to that image where it was like I felt good with it, I'm like, I gotta keep on going. So I want to say it was probably around I was like 6. Where I picked up pencil and not crayons, but like pencils and colored pencils up and just ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kept on creating. I just fell in love with art like at that moment. So
yeah, that's
Sonya Blade, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy to see like where things could really start from, like something real small, real simple like that to the projects that you work on now. So it's pretty cool to see that. But another question I got here for you is, have you collaborated? It sounds like you have collaborated, especially with this past weekend. But who have you collaborated with, and how did it like play out?
So I want to say like the biggest collaboration so far, not necessarily on a piece with these artists yet. Well, that's a lie. So I did some body paint, a project with King Prolific years ago. We got some friends together at this one warehouse where they do a lot of photo shoots, and we did body paint on them. So the vibe was kind of like royalty, like African tribe royalty. So we both had just white paint and like 2 brushes on us. And the idea was to have one artist, well, one body, but both of us paint on one body at the same time. Okay. And it was so crazy how like when we would do that, we'd do different designs and somehow it's still, it was cohesive together. So we ended up doing like 4 or 5 bodies that day, and it was a big photo shoot. So that was probably like the first art collaboration, like painting with someone. And then, like I said, this past Saturday at Crown Plaza, we had a big art exhibit where we just had our art shown everywhere. We did like live paintings and everything like that. So that was with Darius and also King Prolific as well. But yeah, I want to definitely work with Stephen Michael Haas. I want to work with him. I feel like our work is very playful. Like his work is really playful, and then with my color schemes and everything like that, meshing them together, I feel like we just create something wild. Bigger names, I don't know. I feel I like to work with. I don't know if you've heard of John Bourne.
John Bourne. I'm not too familiar with artists like all that.
Okay.
On a different scale.
He's from Harrisburg.
Okay.
And he, I think he's in LA right now, but he does like Maseratis and he does like walls inside mansions for like celebrities and everything like that. So I feel like a Bond Bourne collaboration be kind of dope. I think that even just sounds dope. You hear that like Bond Bourne or Bourne Bond, like that just sounds dope.
You're taking 2 like action heroes and trying to like turn them into like art, because you got like James Bond, and then you got like the Bourne Conspiracy and stuff like that.
Exactly. So I mean, it sounds wild. So whoever can get a hold of that guy and tell him about this collaboration, let's make it happen for sure.
Right. I'm sure that'll definitely happen soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the crazy thing that I've been experiencing too, is like, I remember years ago saying, I want to do this. That'd be nice to do this. Oh, that'd be cool. It eventually like came to fruition. You literally like manifesting it or believing in it so much that it just happens, or you still gotta do some action, some footwork and go get it. But sometimes it just comes to you. And I feel like when you're on that road of purity of what you're doing is pure, everything just comes your way, and it's been one hell of a ride so far, so I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, man, it's just like whenever you have this idea and like you want to do something, like you can't just sit there and talk about it all the time. Like you got to start doing actions and actually putting your plan in the work, because like even this, for example, like for my end, is like this my podcast that I have, like I've talked about doing podcasts for many years, but I just started back in this past November. and I'm really loving it. The growth is great. The love and support that I've been
Mhm.
getting to has been great. So it's just
Mhm.
like you gotta enjoy what you do as well. Otherwise, you're just gonna be
Absolutely.
miserable. Your content's gonna be garbage. Like you're never gonna progress. So
Absolutely. Yep. And I think when you get to that point where you are doing something that you truly enjoy, others notice and they see how much it brings you joy, and then like you're on that road of like enjoyment, people want to add to that. They see how pure it is and how genuine that what you're doing, and like I said, people will notify you or be in your DMs of opportunities for you to do because they can just tell they believe in your vision. You know, they want to be a
mhm,
part of that, so they kind of like contribute to that. It's a pretty cool thing.
right.
Yeah.
So got a couple more questions here for you. Obviously, what is your favorite piece that you have done?
Mm, man, as a whole,
I know it's
um,
probably pretty tough. It's like choosing like if
it
you have
is.
multiple kids, like
Yeah.
which one is your favorite kid or something.
Mm,
I don't
I
know.
do want to
It's
say,
it's a
I want to
tough
say that
question.
like it is, but outside of canvases, I want to say my favorite mural I've done has to be the one that's located in Harrisburg, um, off of Riley, Second and Riley. So it's a pizza shop in Harrisburg. So if you live in Harrisburg, you hear this, go check it out. The mural's dope. The pizza shop is amazing. It's called, I believe it's Irio's Pizza Shop. So it's right on the corner of Second and Riley. Um, so most fun project I've done, and the theme behind it was from Tupac's poem, "The Rose That Grew from Concrete." So I kind of flipped it a little bit and kind of added like, "We are the roses that grew from concrete." So no matter color or creed, like we are the people who grow from nothing and become something. So on one side of the mural, so it's a mural that goes across the whole wall and then
Hmm.
around to the front of the pizza shop. On
Oh, okay.
the first part of the mural, it's different ethnicity type of people in my design and my character form, and they're all wearing like these neon masks, like geometric masks, which is pretty crazy. Because I came up with these drawings before like all the COVID and stuff even went down. So like a
Hmm.
lot of people when they see these past drawings of me, of all these characters wearing like these geometric masks, they're like, "Were you telling the future? Like, are you on some
Yeah, I can see
some heroes shit?" I'm like, I might be. I don't know.
that.
so so it's those characters, and then on the other half of the wall, it's in the neon writing, "We are the roses that grew from concrete," and I have colorful roses like everywhere, and like the petals are flying everywhere. And then around the front, it's a little character of a slice of pizza, and a little character of like a old school soft drink that has like the retro color, like purple and pink on it.
Hmm.
It kind of reminds me of like Adult Swim, like meat wad and like the
I know you're
the
going
soda
that.
drink.
Yeah, I
That's
definitely know
what
what you're
it
talking
kind of
about.
reminds me of.
Yeah, that's pretty
But
dope. I
that's
got to check it out. I haven't been down there
oh,
to
it
see
is,
that.
yeah, yeah. Check it out. And what's attached to it too is a payphone.
Mhm.
So when I was doing the mural, the owner of the building was like, "What about the payphone? Can we do the payphone?" I was like, "I don't see why not." And he was like, "Well, he was like, this is my building. I own the building. I own the sidewalk. It's on my building." I was like, "Well, let's do it. Let's
Fuck
just
it.
go for it. Don't ask for permission. Just ask for forgiveness." So I was like, "All right, let's do it." So I did this dope color gradient of purple, pink, and blue, and put all these like roses on it with white paint. Put all these roses on it. Basically, just gave life back to this payphone, and it sat there for so many years. When I started doing the payphone, there was just trash all in it. There was a McDonald's cup on it. There was a pack of Marlboro Reds on it. Cleared all that stuff out, dusted it all, put some paint on it, and now it's getting so much love and so much energy drawn to it. It's not like a living, breathing thing, but the fact that people stop and they take photos with this payphone, and like they DM it to me, and then I share it. The
Hmm.
fact that it's getting this type of energy brought to it, um, because you think about it, I mean that was like a staple of communicating with people.
Right. Yeah.
Back in the day, you just throw some quarters in there and like whatever, and it's just
Right.
like I think we can still bring use to those things that used to bring purpose to us. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That's pretty dope. And
but yeah,
it's
that has to
pretty
be my
cool.
favorite piece is that mural for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. Yeah, I'm going to have
Yeah.
to great. Hopefully, you got some pictures of it because that'd be tough if I can overlay
Oh
this
yeah.
to because I edit
Yeah, I
this up
do.
on YouTube, so I can see
Yep.
if I can overlay them. What is your goal though? Like, what's your 5 year goal? But then, what is your ultimate goal? Your lifetime goal in your artist career?
Mm-hmm. 5 year goal. Um, so I feel like there's so many. My brain goes in so many directions. What I would
That's an
love to
artist mind.
where I know where I would like to take this passion of mine. I mean, I thought about moving to Miami, taking us all, move to Miami and do art down there because I just know if you are hungry enough, you meet the right people, and you not only have the talent, you can become something and do something. So that'd be kind of dope. I also had thoughts of open up like a mini studio where not only do I have my apparel or merchandise, but artists can also like feature your stuff in the studio as well. Um, and then also another one was just to travel and do murals. That'd be pretty dope. Like to get a sponsorship from I don't know who any of the paint products that I use. That'd be pretty cool, and kind of just travel and do murals around the world. Different cities, different states, countries. That'd be pretty cool.
Right,
those are like my 3 goals I'd like to see and bring to life. So.
Right. Yeah, I never thought about doing something like that for like an artist, like traveling around to different cities and putting up different murals or like whatever you want to paint, whether it's like phone booths or I don't know, like side of can't even think of any ideas right now. But like, I feel like you could paint anything if you really wanted to. If it looks terrible, make it look good.
See people they paint trains, like they paint huge like gas tankers, like the huge tankers, like they paint those. Yeah. And made them look up. I seen someone paint one and make it look exactly like a spray can itself.
Oh wow,
that was pretty wild. But yeah, that'd be pretty cool to travel and do those things.
Yeah, for sure. So are you currently in any museums, or do you plan on being in any museums soon?
I am not in any museums. I did have someone contact me about Susquehanna Museum as of recent, and to do some pretty dope stuff with them. So that potentially is in the works. So we'll see where that goes. But that should be pretty interesting. So, but right now, no. Future, I'm gonna say definitely.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Sure. I feel like that could be an ultimate goal. Honestly, is like when I think of art, like you think of like art museums and stuff like that, and like like the iconic pieces that are displayed that everybody knows. Like I think as an artist, like I would love to see like my most iconic piece in a museum someday. Like I feel like that would be a real big ambitious goal.
I think the most one that kind of hit me like a surreal moment. What are you drinking on right now?
I got this Bloodline Blood Orange IPA.
Oh, I should have cracked the joint over
here. Hey, go ahead.
I was just about to get hit. I was so smooth, that integration right there.
Yeah, I see you. I gotta bring one as a co-host or something.
So what I was gonna say, the most big impactful thing that was like a surreal moment was when I got the ask to collaborate with Trogs, Mac Brewing Company, Harris Family Brewing Company, and also Barrel and Flow. So Barrel and Flow is from Pittsburgh. That's a black-owned brewing company. Mac Brewing Company is from Philly. That's a black-owned brewing company. And Harris Family Brewing Company, they're out of Harrisburg. So that's the first black-owned brewing company in Harrisburg, which is pretty dope. So they all collaborated together to make a 10% Pilsner, which like I didn't know about that. Like when they said 10% Pilsner, I'm like, they're all going crazy about it. Like that's so crazy, it's unheard of. I'm like, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm like, why is it so crazy? Why is it so crazy? And they're like, because Pilsners, you don't do that. It's
no, they're usually like light beers.
The light beer. So they went all out and did the 10%. And so my boy Tim hit me up from Harris Family Brewing Company. He was like, yo, you want to do a collaboration with us and design this label? And I said, absolutely. So I worked with Trogs, like hand in hand with Trogs and hand in hand with them. I went to their like beer tasting where we actually got to smell each hop. We used grinders and you could smell the smells and put it all together. So this is what it ended up being right here. So this is the 10% Pilsner.
Yeah, that's fire right there. Right. I can definitely see your color scheme though. Is the purples and the pinks. That's definitely you.
Yeah. So this is actually going to be at the beer fest in Pittsburgh. It's called the Flow Fest. So that'll be in September. So they'll have that there. And you can also check out this. You can purchase this beer because it's a special edition, so it isn't just like in beer stores. So you can download an app called Tavour, Tavour, and type in promo code FlowFest, and you can be notified when like you can purchase it, and then it ships to you. You can pick any type of craft beer you want, and it ships right to your door. So I thought
I need that.
That's wild.
I'm a big beer connoisseur, and I try all kind of beer. It's crazy.
I'm about to send you that app, but yeah, you can do that. So I'm gonna crack this open right now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm about to try that for sure because I love pilsners. Pilsners are easy to drink too. This, on the other hand, is not easy to drink. When you're drinking IPAs, Blood Orange one is kind of rough. This one here, I think, is 8%. So definitely that's pretty dope, man. I never would have thought about like collaborating with like a beer company, create like a label. Like thinking about it now makes sense because like even like looking at this like art, like the art on this like with the dog and stuff like that. Like
that's one of my favorite. I don't know the artist. It might say it on the can, but like seeing his or her art on that bottle or on their stuff all the time.
I'm like, you recognize it, like stuff like that.
Yeah. See, it's like whoever does that art, it's like it's recognizable. You can be like, oh, that's definitely who that is. And I got to meet Zoe. She's the person. So if you picked up a recent like Trogs bottle or can and you see the art that's on it right now, this chick has done it, and she is so chill. She's so cool. I'm like, I can't believe I'm talking to a person who, like, your images are on billboards. Your images are on like whatever type of commercials they have. Her images that she's created for this company are everywhere. I'm like, those are like big goals. Those are like those are big art goals right there. I'm like, that's pretty cool. So yeah, this was like the surreal moment, like achievement I felt when I seen the beer going off the line and all the labels just being slapped on the side of the cans. And it's mine, and I'm behind the scenes looking at all that. I remember, being at Trogs at one point, talking to my one buddy, Kyle, saying like, yo, I want to do cans. I mean, even telling Jet, I remember telling Jet, like, yo, it'd be so dope to do some can art. I want to do can art. I'm going to get into doing can art. And then again, like I said, the opportunity came to me, it presented itself to me because I've worked with Tim from Harris Family Brewing Company before. And he just knew the drive, the passion I have for the art. And he kind of was like, yo, you want to do this? I'm like, hell yeah. So
see, the crazy thing is like you have plenty of opportunities in Central PA alone because there is a lot of breweries in Central PA.
Oh yeah.
So you could definitely be out there just here. You need a label. Like people are making new beers all the time, so they're looking for that new piece that's going to draw it in. Because like when I go to the store and I'm looking for a beer, the name and the label is what catches me. If your label and your name is boring, I'm probably not going to try it, even though it might be the best beer in the store, but I'm probably not going to try it if it don't look good.
Well, that's what the guy said at Trogs when I went to go pick up like my case that they gave me for free for being an artist doing it. They gave me the whole case. I'm like, yeah. That's what he said. He was like, yo, when this came in off the truck, we're like, what is that? Because it was just something that's like so different from what they see. They see a lot of the earthy colors with some of the cans they get. They see like the browns, the golds, like maybe darker, richer blues or anything like that, and the greens and everything like that, olive grades. But they say when they see like the purple and pink and blue, they're like, what is that? So I like that, like that resonates of the vibrancy that I create with my art and the emotion that people get when they see that it translated with the beer can too. So
yeah, that's pretty dope to hear that. Sure. So one of my next questions is like, can we find your art out in public? You already answered that kind of with your murals. Have you created other murals or public art that we can see?
Yeah. So the first mural I created was for Sprocket Mural Works. So they're a business within Harrisburg where they'll get local artists and also artists from other cities to come into Harrisburg and do murals for their Mural Fest. So the first one was 2017 Mural Fest, which I participated in. I did my first mural. That's on the side of HMAC, Harrisburg Music and Art Center. So it's on the left side of the courtyard of HMAC, and it's a big round circle, and it's a three-eyed doe or a fawn, and it's black and white. So when I tell people that, they're like, "Oh my God, that's your piece!" I'm like, "Yeah." And like we like go to HMAC all the time. We always see them. We're like, "Who they never know who done that and everything. So that was my first one.
Okay.
And then I did my second one was for 717 Tacos. So
Okay.
they're in works of wanting to have like a courtyard type of taco joint in Harrisburg on Riley Street as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they had me design a concept and make a mural for their courtyard. So that was my second one. And then I worked with Sprocket Mural Works again for the Allison Hill project. So that wasn't like a big wall mural, but it was a planter box. So on Allison Hill,
yeah.
they have all these planter box set up with these flowers and plants inside of them, and they got local artists to make a concept and put the art on these planter boxes. So that was a lot of fun. So that was a pretty cool moment too, because growing up at Allison Hill and my mother taking me on the buses to go to where we need to go. And it was actually, my planter box is actually at like a little bus stop area too, which is pretty cool. I remember sitting on the bus, wherever me and mom were going on a bus, like drawing in a sketchbook or coloring in a coloring book. And then to end up back, where I grew up and doing a project like this, it was pretty cool. So yeah, I worked with them for that. And then I went back to work and then one at Zervio's, the pizza shop, did that one. That's a mural you can see. And then I'm working with 717 again to do their taco truck. So I'm working on that right now with them. So they take that everywhere. So that gets so much exposure. They take it to Springgate. They take it to Mechanicsburg. They take to Carlisle. So they take that taco truck everywhere. So to be able to have all these different eyes see it, and that's what I love about Instagram too, and all like the tags, like the ats. That's all you have to do. Like you have your signature, and then you have your at, blah blah blah, and they just go right to it, and then boom, there's your portfolio right there. I often say to people that I think the term starving artist is kind of like slowly dying a little bit if you can use like social media in the right way or mark yourself in a certain type of way.
Right. You got to make yourself stand out, honestly.
Yeah, and you no longer need to. You can, which is great, put your art in galleries and wait and have people come in and check them out. But your whole portfolio and your whole gallery is like on your Instagram that hundreds and thousands of people's eyes can like look at any given moment. So
yeah, that's definitely pretty dope for sure. Yeah, I try to tag most of like Mr. Never Chillin' or the Chill Zone or Press Start Podcast or the Talk Show with Vic. Like I always have those hashtags in every post that I put on there. So like,
yeah,
if anybody starts reposting clips or anything like that from any of my shows in the future, like everything will be collected into that, because one, I highly doubt anybody else are using those specific tags for the most part that I've seen. But it'll be, like you said, pretty cool to have that collection.
Yeah, I see the collection of PS5 controllers back there. You got me kind of jealous.
Yeah. All my Xbox controllers, Xbox Series X.
Oh yeah, see, okay.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, like I got my bright red one.
Okay.
My favorite one right here. The
all right.
Yeah,
I like that one.
I just ordered the new Xbox Aqua Blue Shift controller. Comes out the end of the month.
So you're all Xbox. You're all Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, I got PlayStation 4.
I gotta go then, because I can't deal with the Xbox player.
Oh man, I love PlayStation. I love PlayStation as well. I get the PlayStation for like the exclusives and whatnot.
Yeah.
But one more question here before we move on to our next segment. I just thought about this question now because I'm a hack alumni, and going to hack, I noticed that their art center, they would have like their mini like galleries and stuff like that. Have you thought about potentially getting a piece into there, or have you already been in there with your own piece?
I haven't thought about that. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I'd like to do that for sure. Check that out and see how to do that.
Because I know, like in between classes, if I had some time, like I would literally stop in there. Like I'm not big into art, but like it'd be pretty. Like it was just like for me to just kill some time, check out some cool pieces. What about airports? Because I remember when I was just flying to Key West and stuff like that, I would literally stop at airports, like when I'm like have layovers and stuff like that, and going from flight to flight. They would have like mini art sections, and I would literally just be stopped and like hooked. I'm like, yo, this shit's
so crazy.
Dope.
Like, yeah, that's probably like the only second time someone has said something about doing airport stuff. I've seen it before. Like I've seen artists have long freaking walls of a mural like in an airport, which is really cool. But yeah, I haven't thought about like doing that too. So jot this stuff down. And we always travel to Jet's mother lives in Clearwater, Florida.
Damn,
So
I
we're
can't believe she moved
always
the whole way down there.
right. Oh yeah, she's like, live life, see you later.
Right. I missed the house
I
with the
mean,
pool. I need her to have the
right,
pool
yeah.
back.
They always talk about the house with the pool. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, we
But
used
yeah,
to have so many parties there, man. It was crazy.
oh my god, she's living life down in Florida right now. That's definitely where she belongs because she's just a free spirit and just wild woman. So it's like we go down there and we love it because we can go
Mhm.
down to Clearwater like about twice a year. So it'd be cool to like be like maybe doing like that, like having something in like Tampa because we like fly in like land in like Tampa airport.
Yeah.
Imagine coming off of that plane
Just
and
seeing your
walking through the
shit.
terminal and just like that's it right there. That'd be a pretty cool moment. So I might have
Yeah,
to
for
look into
sure.
that.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, my goal, man, like when I bring people on the show, man, like if I'm having this conversation with you and I want to be able to help you out too. Like my goal is to think of
Hmm.
ideas. Like
Hmm.
I don't know. Feel like I need to impact and help out some way or another. You
Well,
know.
that's what's so fun hanging out with other creatives. Like, it doesn't have to be like podcaster,
Nope.
musician, any type of we're all creatives, So like, that's what's so fun when you talk to them and like you bounce ideas off. You're like, oh, what
Hmm.
about this? And it just keeps on building to this greatness, and you just make this.
Yeah.
Like with the past show that just happened at Crown Plaza, with everybody, like we literally would have Facebook Messenger voice chats back and forth, and it was like one great idea, and then another great idea, and then another great
Hmm.
idea, and it was just so fun putting all that together. But yeah, I appreciate you. I'm definitely jotting down all these ideas,
Of
the
course,
airport
man.
and
Of
all that.
course.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
yeah.
the
So,
transition here. Do you have any advice to any upcoming artists or like new people that are getting into the art journey and stuff like that that you want to give?
hmm I would say several things actually. Um, don't ever just stop. Don't you there's been so many times where I'm doing something, I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, what is this is nothing, this isn't. And I'm not even speaking in a position where like I feel like I'm like this big crazy great artist, but I feel really accomplished to where I've come from where I was. um but don't yeah, I say don't stop, keep on doing it, because I usually just like, I feel like any artist, you just create it just for yourself, and then
Hmm.
once you get it out there, you start seeing people's reactions to it, negative and positive, it still influences you in some
Hmm.
type of way. So yeah, never stop, just keep on going, and then like the way you do art will adjust and you can get better. Like how you used to do art, it's like that's not the direction you really are supposed to go, and you completely find yourself, and
Hmm.
that's your niche right there. um and I say just why not? Like go for any type of opportunity you have. Like why not? Like if it's not you, who else? Who else is gonna, go for that, you
Right.
know, art project, or go for that art event? Um, it's like possibilities are endless with that. And you never know how it might go, and then you might fail, but then you just keep it going. You just keep it
Hmm.
going because it's the reason why you fail with that, because then you can figure out something the way it'll work the right way for you. Um, and then another thing is, so my motto when I post things is be vibrant, stay vibrant.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
what I kind of mean with that is that we're all these vibrant beings, right, within ourselves. Like what you do, like you're freaking vibrant. You're vibrant. You're
Hmm.
vibrant with that because you're putting that out there, and you're like giving that light and that vibrancy to people of what you do. And that goes with my art. Is like what I do with my art is what's inside of me, and I give to everybody. So whatever anybody's doing, no matter what, be vibrant with that. Show people how bright you can be and colorful you can be with what you do. Um, so when I say that, to say this, I think that there's like the grays. I call people who like doubt you, I call them the grays, because like they're colorless. Like they're
Okay.
like lame. They're bland. The grays are the ones who can be like, yo, you can't do this. No,
Th-
you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
They
You
the
shouldn't do
haters.
this.
They're the
Yeah, you
haters.
shouldn't. You shouldn't do this. Maybe you should do that. Maybe it's kind of risky. Don't do that. Like literally have had people like are like say like you're not no, like straight up, not even like sneaky type of way, like maybe you're not gonna make it. Like literally say like, no, that's not gonna. What do you mean that's not gonna happen? Like people you think that's like close to you, like literally say, bro,
Right.
that's not gonna happen. and you're like, oh, okay, well, we'll see. So and that gives you more fuel. And you look at people like that, you're like, thank you, and they're like, what? Like, because anybody who actually makes it, they needed someone to say
Tell
this to
them that.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody who's great has a story of people who the people who have said like you're not going to do this, and then they excel, and then they have people like that in their stories. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. You hit it right on the head. Like without those haters, because like literally the saying is like haters are motivators. Like they literally motivate you to
Hmm.
prove them wrong. And
Hmm.
because like everything has a balance. Like you're never going to enjoy something if you didn't go through the rough times or get the no's or the
Exactly.
negatives. Like there's always a negative to it for every positive. Like it is literally
Oh
equal.
yeah.
And that's the
Oh yeah.
reason why we
Absolutely.
experience that kind of stuff.
And it's the balance. It's supposed to be like that. You
Hmm.
can't have everybody, saying you're great, you're great, you're great, without having some people like you're trash, you're trash.
Right.
You're not gonna do it because there has to be that balance with everything. So
Right. 50 Cent said a long time ago, you can't have joy without the pain. Straight up.
absolutely,
One of my favorite
absolutely.
lyrics there. But yeah, man, yeah, that's so cool though to hear about your art journey and stuff like that. I've been following obviously on social media and stuff like that. It really piqued my interest. I was like, yo, I gotta get Tristan onto the show. I gotta
Yeah,
showcase
yeah,
his
yeah.
art to my community and help him grow as well. Because I love
Mhm.
your style too, man. Like I love the vibrancy.
Thank
Because
you.
like there's some art that's like it's dull, it's still cool, but like it's just not
Hmm.
my type of art that stands out. But I love the
Yeah,
vibrant,
yeah.
like abstract kind of art. And then
Hmm.
there's also that
Hmm.
art that like, is this art? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you get
yeah,
some stuff
yeah.
you're like question mark. But yeah, nonetheless, man, let's
Yeah.
we're gonna move on to a similar topic here though. We're gonna talk about like your impact and your involvement in the community with your art. Have you engaged in any like community event or potentially like that with your art?
Um, I recently did a project with friends in Midtown. So they well around in the city they have these like newspaper library things, or like share libraries where you can drop off books and like share to the community. So they hired me to do uh, to refurbish that entire little library box they had, and
Oh,
that
okay.
that came out pretty dope. So that was like one of the recent more community things I've done. Um, I definitely want to get into more like just going there and talking to uh, the friends of Midtown. Kind of just made me think like, man, I could be doing like a lot, like a
Right.
lot more like things for sure. So I definitely want to get more into that. I want to do more stuff with Art Can. So that's Shane Gallup's kind of like crew right there. So Art Can does a lot of donations for, especially for like back to school for kids, who
Hmm.
might not have as much. So they do that. They go around, they clean up parks and everything. So if you guys don't know who Art Can is, definitely check out Art Can. They do some really cool stuff. So
Right. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty dope because I actually never heard of them, so it always helps me out
mhm.
to like look out and honestly like it's only going to allow me to potentially connect with more people too. So like you're telling me
Mhm.
about them, I
Mhm.
would potentially try to reach out to them and get them onto the show and
Oh yeah.
whatnot. So that'd be pretty cool. But how would you like to like impact the community more? Like how do you think you could actually make an impact with your art or however that
Um,
you want to do it?
I think it goes back to me saying about being vibrant, for like the youth that maybe aren't too sure about wanting to get into the arts, it doesn't even necessarily have to be like painting. Maybe they want to dance, maybe they want to do, a whole bunch of different type of stuff. And, you know, I feel like not with the times now, like any like younger like boys who will want to dance will be like striving for dancing. But I can imagine like years ago, like any young boy who wanted to be a ballerina or to dance, it'd be shunned upon. But like no, be vibrant, do that anyway.
Hmm.
So I feel like the way I would want to impact with my art is to kind of show that like just do it anyway, and
Hmm.
just do it unforgivingly. just
Right. Yeah.
follow that passion and just create. And that's what I would like to show with my art with the community and everything.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be pretty dope for sure.
If
Have
there
you?
if there's like if there was like a stamp like that, it'd be like Bond of Art represent just like being as bright and vibrant as you can possibly be.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely dope, man. Yeah, because we live in a time where like people do get like looked at very weirdly or like frowned upon, like, oh, you can't be this, you can't be that, because like we
Mm-hmm.
all have these like standards or expectations. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
really like crazy then, and then people like lead to suicide because they can't be who they want to be. So like there's
Yeah. Yeah.
a big impact there. But
Yeah.
have,
And it leads into like mental health too. It's like,
yeah.
like from you not being who you truly want to be, because people look at you about that. It's like to be able to turn to art. Like that's, I know a lot of friends who turn to art, when they kind of feel, depression or anxiety,
Mhm.
anything like that, they art and they're like, yo, this like gets me through a lot. Like it's very therapeutic. It
Yeah,
really, really is.
it
Yeah,
sure is.
yeah.
It's definitely a way out because like I've actually dealt with like mental health like myself personally, like with anxiety. And when I first started going through like my first episodes of stuff like that, like of having
Mhm.
anxiety, like I would literally like sit there and write. Like I found
Mhm.
my outlet to be writing or listening to music, but mainly
Mhm.
writing. Whether it was like about my games or my random blog posts that I would have, it was just a way of me being creative and just getting my thoughts out and just
Oh, yeah.
like just opening myself, freeing my mind and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Because otherwise, you feel like you're
Mhm.
just like, I'm not worth it. Just like
Yeah,
you can go
yeah.
down a really crazy rabbit hole when you get into
Oh
that kind
yeah,
of stuff for sure.
yeah. Like a lot of, you could probably tell. Not so much. It's not on my Instagram now because I deleted all that stuff. So like my beginning of my Instagram was a lot of like black and white stuff, a lot of darker type of creations I'd make, and it was just
Hmm.
like during that time of my life, you can definitely tell where like my creativity was, or like where my mind was. It was kind of like it wasn't as it is now. It was like a lot of darker stuff. And to being where I am now, like life is good now. Like I am beyond, on cloud nine. I'm freaking on cloud 19. It's like with Jet, with Juniper, with friends and family that I have surrounding me, with the support system I have surrounding me. Like life is good. But you can see where that type of art to where the art is now, like everything's just, like I said, so much brighter, so
Hmm.
much more playful. And it's wild how with your artistry it depicts and shows like where you are in that time in your life. So that's pretty cool
Yeah, no
that
doubt.
you can do that. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I want to segue back to like making an impact with like kids and stuff like that. Have you thought
Yeah.
about getting into schools potentially and helping out
I
like
have.
actually in classes and stuff?
I have thought about doing something like that. Because I just remember my art teacher being such like an influential person in my life. Like he
Hmm.
was the most. He was his demeanor was like a Bob Ross, but like I give no shits type of Bob Ross. Like, when he would draw on the board, like if we were like today in class, and like this arts teacher, he's probably is back in like maybe like fourth or fifth grade, And I just remember his name was Mr. Showalter, and he was just like the best, man. He just always had like paint and chalk all over him. So he would like, I remember him just like being amazed that he would just like nonchalantly go to the board like, we're gonna make a tree stump today. We're like, oh okay, how are we gonna do this? He goes boom 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 beep beep beep, and there you go. Like it was like nothing. We're like our minds were blown in class, but it was so nonchalant. He's like, his demeanor was just so like whatever, but he just had an impact on me. So to be able to go to classrooms and to show, students who were really into art, who didn't even know that they would be interested in art, see something being created and it can spark
Yeah.
something like that. That'd be pretty cool. So absolutely, I would love to get into that and maybe go into like Harrisburg schools and everything like that, and especially Melrose. Melrose is where I went
Okay.
elementary school. I went to Mural school, so to go back and see if there's any teachers who are still there that used to teach me, um, that'd be pretty cool to see. But yeah, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Makes me think about the
Hmm.
time back in my high school days. I think it was like ninth grade maybe, and we were doing paper mache art. And me and my friend Miguel, we actually created a PlayStation 2 controller, a big ass fucking controller. Like that shit was like as big as like a 55-inch TV, big ass controller, and it stayed in the school for like years, years.
Oh,
It might
that's
still be up there. Honestly, I
crazy.
haven't been up there in a while, but it was up there like a couple years even after I graduated. And I was like, yo, that shit was dope. And I was just like,
So it was like three-dimensional.
yeah,
It
three
was like,
dimensional, like a legitimate, like we could pick it up, like we would have to have two people pick the controller up,
wow,
but it looked like a
that is
legitimate controller. It was dope, dope.
that's dope. Oh, that is dope.
Yeah,
That
that was
might
probably
that
one of
might
my most
you
artistic
you say
moments.
you say you weren't in a museum. That might be in a museum somewhere. You
Yeah,
never
I have
know.
no idea. They're like unknown artists. Yeah, that'd be crazy
You got
for
people
sure.
people are bidding on it like hundreds of thousands
Yeah,
of dollars,
millions
and
of dollars just going up.
you're just not knowing. You're just like
I would be pissed, honestly.
yeah.
Missing
The
out on an
school claims
opportunity.
it. The school claims it. They're like, we'll take that check.
Like, oh,
Like,
so that's how you guys got new football jerseys, huh?
exactly. Those
No,
cleats are nice with that football field. Holy crap! What the heck?
exactly. But
Like, you're welcome.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it. I gotta go check out my high school, see if it's still there for sure. That'd be pretty
Yeah.
dope to see. But yeah, man, let's got another couple questions here. How can the
Sure.
community itself be more engaged with you as opposed to you trying to be more engaged with the community? Like, how can they reach out to you, or like how can they
Mhm.
do art
Like,
projects with
well, I
you?
definitely think that they do a great job at that. I get so many people who are from like Harrisburg, kind of. If I'm being a little bit more quieter, it's Juniper sleeping in her like bedroom's like right behind me. So
Oh yeah, you good?
hopefully you can still hear me. But I feel like they do pretty good at that, reaching out to me. Hey, you want to do this? Want to participate in this? There's an art show going on here. Let's do this. So they do really well. And the way they contact me is mainly through Instagram.
Hmm.
A lot more like on Facebook stuff is more family stuff, friend stuff. But Instagram is where a majority of my art is. So Bond of Art, BOND underscore OF underscore ART,
Hmm.
Bond of Art. So
Yeah,
that's where a
as
lot of people
yeah,
contact me.
stream can see it here on live stream. I have it right underneath your
Mhm.
video right now. Put your
Perfect.
Bond
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
James Bond Art. No,
I know. Yo, oh my goodness. So when we found out that Jet was pregnant, there were so many people like, oh, if it's a boy, you know you have to name it James.
right,
And I'm like, you know you should shut the fuck up. 'Cause
right,
I would not do that. I would not do that to my child. If it
right.
was a
You
boy,
imagine the
like
shit that he would go through.
I mean, I get not shit now. I get mainly like jokes, like, "Oh, where's your dad, James Bond?" I'm like, "Oh,
No.
one, it's a fictional character. Okay, so that's, but um, but yeah, like it's. But I like having a last name Bond. It's pretty dope.
Yeah,
It,
yeah, for sure.
cool.
It
Yeah.
definitely like I feel like you might be the only like real person that I know that has the last name Bond. Like in my life that I know personally, might be the only
Yeah,
person I
yeah.
know. But
You're welcome.
are there any events that you are participating in or hosting soon, like for art wise?
Hmm. I know that King Prolific and also Darius Levin and I were doing a poetry slam coming up in January. Oh no, not January, September. That's way off. September. September. Um, this really cool chick reached out to us. Her name's Thundercat. So she reached out to us, and the thing of the event is that there are going to be poets there doing
Hmm.
their poems, and while they're speaking the poetry, we're like doing art reflecting their poems.
Oh wow, yeah, that's dope.
So I'm really like, oh shit.
That's gonna be a
Like
dope
I'm
video to
hoping,
watch. Like watching the person read and then watching you react to what they just read to you like portraying what you just heard. Like that's gonna
yeah.
be dope just to watch in
So
video and
I'm
watch that
thinking
transition.
like, so I'm just thinking so many different things. I'm like, should I approach it in a way of like, it'll be one piece that kind of reflects the entire poem? But I was like, oh, you know what I should do? I should just have like the canvas already painted, have several paint markers on deck, and while the poet's speaking, everything the poet's saying just transition into whatever else I'm feeling. So it'd be like this continuous, just freaking like
Okay,
image of whatever they're saying is what the first thing that comes into my head, and just start drawing that, and then you move on to something else and start drawing that. So it'd be like this whole
that'd be
mesh
pretty
of
interesting to see.
what they're speaking of. So my brain's going so many ways. So that's in September. It's in the Lancaster area. There's still information to be announced. So that's something coming up here next. We definitely want to do Three Dope art show part 2 that we just did at the Crown Plaza.
Hmm.
Um, that I am currently in the works of working with Foot Locker, like the main like headquarters in Mechanicsburg. They want Mural done inside of their training facility.
That's dope.
So working with them with that should be wild.
You got to do some art on a sneaker. That'd be dope.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have done art on sneakers before. Like I worked with Reebok at the outlets in Hershey. Usually every summer they have like a back to school special, and I'm there like sitting. I just paint on all the kids like shoes that are going back to school with it. So dope. There's their eye, like the way their eyes light up. Are like, what do you want? They're like, give me a baseball bat and this, and you're like, what are you doing? They're like,
whoa. And the thing is, they get to go to school with this one of a kind shoe. That's one of a kind dope
shoe. Yeah, this one kid, his dad, they're both from New York, and you get people from everywhere. They're mainly from New York and Jersey. So there's one, it was a father and son. They came in, and they were from New York, and the kid wanted New York Yankees logo on one shoe.
Red Sox all day, baby.
What if I just did that? What if he was like, I want New York Yankees? And I was like, Red Sox.
Yeah, whoops, my bad.
Oops, sorry. I slipped, and it made that. So he wanted New York Yankees on one side, and then he wanted the Mortal Kombat symbol on the other side. And I'm just like, I'm like, oh no. But he was older, so his shoe was a lot bigger, so it worked. And we got done, and I was even impressed. I'm like, wow, it turned out pretty well.
Wait,
and his
dad
was like, his dad was like, this is amazing. Turns out his dad is this like famous barber in New York, has like hundreds of thousands of followers, and he teaches like barber classes in New York. So like he's always tagging me and stuff and tagging people in my stuff. And that's what I mean. It just takes like one person to see, your stuff and appreciate your work, and they give you opportunities and everything like that. So, but yeah. Any other new or next shows coming up? I feel like what's new is probably the Foot Locker thing that's coming up. So, and also the poetry slam. So,
gotcha. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. You got any last thoughts or impacts you want to talk about with the community before we move on to the last segment here?
I think that it'd be pretty dope if we can get all the artists together to do some like big. I mean, it probably has happened before, but to do some big type of art show to put on for the community, and just have artists painting all around this huge circle, so everybody can just like see what everybody's doing. Like do that like at one of the parks or something like that, at Reservoir Park or something. That'd be pretty cool for the community. And just keep on making art. So
I'm sure we can make that happen for sure. And what's beautiful though about the Central PA, the Harrisburg area in general, is like it's a growing city that's going through a transformation as of lately, like a really good one. Like everybody's trying to be more involved in the community. They're trying to have more community events. Like they're trying to have a better life for the next generation, because our generation went through what seems like a pretty shitty time going through Central PA. Like it wasn't the greatest. It wasn't terrible. Like we could be over in a third world country kind of bad, but it could be better. And we're trying to make it better. So I love to see the impact from whether it's like artists like yourself, or even musicians, or even athletes and stuff like that. Entrepreneurs like the Good Brothers Cafe, I think is what it's called, right?
Well, I was just about to say that. I was just about to say, I just actually dropped off art to him this morning. Okay. So I dropped off 2 pieces to him, and also some of my cans. I don't know if you've seen some of my cans that I've been doing. So when I go out and I do murals, I use spray cans and everything, and instead of tossing the cans away, I'm like, let me repurpose them. So I'll spray paint the cans with my different type of color gradient and everything, and I paint on those, and I sell them, so that kind of keeps repurpose these things and turn them into art. So I dropped 2 of those off. I dropped a Goku Ultra Instinct painting off to him.
That just sounds
in case he gets any fanboys in there, they can pick that up. And I dropped another one off. It's a huge canvas. She's called Indigo Queen. So if you guys want to check those pieces out, that'd be at Good Brothers in Harrisburg right there. So but no, he does amazing work too, and to see all that he does, and that's amazing for sure.
Right.
Yeah, it is. It's like this awakening that's like happening with like people, like with the community, or like there is better, with everything. So Like, the Harrisburg's definitely, it has so much flavor and so much style to it. And Harrisburg definitely is. I wouldn't even want to say like on the come up. That kind of sounds. I don't know. It's just like
No, I think you hit it. Like,
something.
it's definitely on the come up.
I mean, something new is happening. Something definitely
I
special
could
is
see
happening.
Harrisburg becoming like one of those big cities here in the next couple of years for sure. Because like it's crazy to think that Harrisburg is the like capital of PA, but
Capital
like no one would think of
PA.
that. Like you would like Philly or Pittsburgh's
Yeah.
the capital, and like Harrisburg's like
Mhm.
this small itty bitty city, and it's just like
Yeah.
no. Hopefully not soon. Hopefully, like people will start to flock here. But I do got some input
Mhm.
here from the chat here. Um, they
Word.
recommended having like hosting a wine and design event. I know that those are really popular now, where like they'll
Mhm.
obviously drink some wine and everybody gets their canvas and try to paint something.
Mhm.
That'd be pretty cool.
Mhm.
Also, another one here was do an art contest in the community where you can involve young children to embrace their art side. Like whoever
Yeah.
the top three pieces that get the most votes or whatever like that, give them a
Yeah.
prize.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool for
Oh
sure,
yeah.
man. So I like those ideas from
That's
chat there.
pretty
That's
dope.
pretty dope.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, man.
I like the participation. That's pretty dope too. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. My goal is to have this show a little bit more involvement with my community here too. That's why I
Mhm.
like to have it live because people can interject with thoughts, ideas, questions, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's
Cool.
always nice to have that for sure. But yeah, man, it's really
Yeah.
awesome to hear though about your impact with the community, your involvement, and whatnot. It's pretty cool to bounce some ideas around, even with you
Mhm.
personally. But let's
Mhm.
move on to our last topic here. This is a different
Sure.
topic from art, but another beautiful topic here. Being a father, fatherhood. I know this is new to you. When was she born?
Yeah.
Because I know you just talked about a
Oh
little bit ago,
man.
Juniper. It's a beautiful
Yeah.
name.
Baby Juniper, man. Yeah, she was born August 2nd of last year. So she's a little COVID baby
Yeah, COVID
during
baby.
during during COVID and everything like that. Um, but she is the most special thing like ever. She like I always knew like deep inside I'm like I'm meant to be like a what's it called a dad daughter or or a daughter dad
Yeah.
like a girl dad.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
it's like yeah like I felt that.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's the most powerful love you can possibly imagine. Like you can fall in love with someone, you like you meet someone, lust, love, and
Yeah.
like all goes into that. It all plays a part to you. Initially, at the end, you're deeply in love with your significant other. When it comes to a child, it's like innate. I just love you. But there's nothing else to it. I just love you. Let me open up these curtains real quick. Bring some more light in here. Um, but it's just there's nothing else except like I just love you. But it's been a beautiful journey for sure, and I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else besides Jet
Hmm.
because she was a wonderful woman before, and just even now, just seeing her as a mother, just watching her with Juniper, um, it's a beautiful sight to see.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
it's crazy. Like the labor and everything like that. The birth was very easy. So
Okay.
we had her at Harrisburg. We had her at Harrisburg Hospital. So a lot of people they asked me like, "Oh, did they let you in because of COVID? Like, were you able to be there?" And I say, if I wasn't able to, like, I would have been leaving in cuffs because I'm not.
I'm not missing that.
You're not gonna. I'm telling you, you're not gonna have me not watch my child be born. So no, it wasn't that at all. Thank goodness. And so it was very easy, very peaceful. The
Hmm.
staff was on point. The doctor was amazing. He made us feel so comfortable. Um, he actually let me deliver like Junie. So he was like, "Oh, he's like, what do you do for a career?" I was like, "I'm a massage therapist." He's like, "So you're good with your hands?" I was like, "I like to think so." He said, "Okay." He's like, "You wanna you wanna catch her?" I was like, "Yes." I was like,
Oh wow,
he let
that's dope.
yeah, he let me put the scrubs on, the gloves, masked up and everything. And she came out, and as soon as I just like had
You,
her, just
yeah, but did you melt?
yeah, it was over. It was over. She already had like me wrapped, and
Hmm.
my mask was soaked from tears, and just
Oh.
like it was the most. She pooped on Jet. She got a little poop on Jet's arm, but it was cute. It was cute. But yeah, it's an amazing feeling. In about like 2 days, I just couldn't stop crying. Every time I would hold her and just look at her face, look into her eyes, and she was very aware too. Like that day,
Right.
just like up, like looking, and yeah, looked into her eyes and just like she just had me. It's a different type of love. Like anything else that you thought was more important than anything, that goes out the window, because making sure those two are safe are like above life, you know.
Right.
But it's been a beautiful journey so far. Yeah.
That's pretty dope. Another question here from chat. They want to know what's the best part of fatherhood so far.
Mm. The best part of fatherhood, I would say, watching her experience new things for the very first time. Like something new, and her face just lights up. Her eyes just get big, or she gets a scowl. Like, what the fuck is that?
What is this? Yeah.
Like, what is this? And also um, like action and like the cause of that. You know, like she'll do something and see like, oh, it does that. Whoa, like
Yeah.
you know, knock something over, and she's like, oh, well, it does that when you do that. And just hearing her laughs too. Like you always think like, oh, what's her hair gonna look like? Or not her, just her hair, but your baby's hair. What is the baby's hair gonna like? Like seeing out how that's turning out, how her, you know, their eyes gonna look, seeing how that's going, and then like the voice, how they're gonna laugh. I think it was the biggest thing for me is like, what is, you know, my baby girl's laugh gonna be, and just like hearing it now is just like that's it. So yeah, just seeing all the stuff that you can't wait to see or hear. That's what does it for me anyway. It's just seeing all those things. The progression, I guess, is my favorite part.
Right.
And then and again, just sharing it with someone who you want to share it with.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
No, yeah, that definitely makes sense. Like, I can't wait to be a dad myself. I know me and my girlfriend are supposed to be try to have our first one here in September, October, whenever she moves here soon from South Carolina. But chat also wants to know, are you ready for terrible twos?
Oh, bring it on, yo.
Got to put her into place. Like, yo, you better chill that ass down.
What did you say to me? No. Yeah. So she's one. So, I think she's gonna, cause she's a little baby Leo, right? So, I think what traits I feel like she has from mommy and daddy so far is that mommy is very headstrong. Mommy is very like, this is what I want. I'm gonna get it. Da 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 da. That's how Junie definitely is too. She's like, no, I don't want that. Like, no. Like she like it isn't anything until she's like, you know, that. So yeah, bring on the terrible twos, man. I just again, I think what excites me is just the progression, just hearing about the terrible twos, just hearing about that. I think just going through it is what I think I'm excited about. You know, the whole parenthood, fatherhood thing is just going through that stuff too. It's just we got so much advice like in the beginning, like, oh, wait for this. Oh, that's that. This is gonna happen. Da da da. And we're just like, okay, all right, okay, cool. It's whatever, you know. So, yeah, bring it on. Terrible twos.
So
Already.
when you first found out that Jet was pregnant and like she told you, or however that process went, like what was that initial feeling like? Like how did it go? Were you crying balls, like tears, or were you just like, oh shit, like I'm about to be a dad? Like how
you want me to give the chat the real like initial like.
Yeah, go for it.
So yeah, so I'm leaving work, right, and she took the test like earlier in the day. So I'm leaving work. She sends me the text, and she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna take a picture of the test. Let me know what you think." I'm like, "Well, shit." I'm like, "Well, there's the answer right there." You know. She was like, "What do you think? What are your thoughts?" And I looked, and it was positive. It was a positive, and I was like, "Oh shit." So I give her a call. We talk. Da 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 da. And I was like, "All right, cool. Like, you have another one?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, well, let's we'll take the next one too, and we'll see, you know,
make sure
where that
like
goes."
A false positive.
Yeah, where that is and everything. And she said, "Okay." So she takes the second one. Oh no. So I'm still in the car. Go with the phone with her. So like as soon as I go with the phone with her, Vic, bro, literally was just like, "Oh shit, oh shit." I'm driving. I'm like, "Oh shit, oh shit." I don't know how many times I said, "Oh shit," and it is like, it was. If we're living in like this our movie world of a life, you know, like we feel like we are the main character in like own movie, you know what I mean? Like this is our life, this is how we're living it, and make decisions. So it's like it felt like reality just said, and just
it hit you.
It just hit me. And I was like, oh shit. Everything I looked at was like, this is the first time looking at this in reality. This first like, it felt like reality just hit. And I just calmed down. I was like, yeah, but look who this reality is with, so it's all good. So she ends up, she takes the second test. Well, I get home. As soon as I get home, we hold each other, we ball, right?
Mhm.
Our friend is coming over to hang out with us to go to El Sol and like chill. Our friend Janessa. So she was on her way over, and they're like, "All right, we'll take the test. We'll leave it here until we come back." I'm like, "All right, fuck! Like Janessa's gonna want to drink with us. Like she's gonna we're going out.
Right.
She's gonna
Can't do that if she's pregnant.
You can't do that." So we go out and we just tell Janessa like Jet wasn't feeling well from whatever night before or whatever or something, and and she's like, "Okay." So we get home. Janessa stays longer than we thought, right? So we're watching a movie. We're in our minds, we're just like, "Yo, that test is up there. What's it gonna say the entire time?" She leaves.
So wait a minute.
We check.
You guys took the
Yeah.
test, didn't look at the
We took
result. The second test.
Yeah.
Didn't look at it.
Yeah,
Went
yeah,
out
yeah.
and waited to come back to
Went
look
out.
at it. Yo,
Yeah.
that would have been killing me the whole time.
I know.
Y'all are troopers for that. Y'all are troopers for that.
Yo, I'm telling you. So I'm there just eating they're eating freaking empanadas or whatever, and just thinking they're eating like tacos. I'm like, what's the test gonna be? So we get home. She watches the movie. She leaves. We run up, grab the second test, positive. So we're like, it's a definite.
Mhm.
And we just sit on the. I still remember this like it was yesterday. We sat on the couch, and we just start crying. And it wasn't like a sad cry
No.
at all. It was more like,
Tears
oh
of
my
joy.
God, like this is so beautiful, so crazy. And we were just sitting there, just like embracing it automatically. It was just like, telling people like, how are you going to tell people and this and that, and like in a good way, like I can't wait to say it. But yeah, as soon as we found out, it was a oh shit to like, oh shit. Like,
is this real? All right, this is real, but how are we about to go and do this now?
It was like, oh shit, to like, oh shit, okay, it's whatever. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty dope to hear, man, for sure. So like,
yeah.
once you found out, and obviously having Juniper now, like, what changes have you had to make in your life? Because like, I know personally, like, I'm a huge gamer. I game 24/7. I know when I have a kid, that's when I have to change. What changes would you have to make, or did you have to make?
Can you still see me? Because it's getting dark in the room.
No, yeah, you're good.
It's still okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely got that in while she was pregnant. Like the whole gaming. Like I'm not even like exaggerating. I would be up until like 4 a.m. because I knew like this was not gonna happen. Later. I don't know what game it was. What was it? It was Ghost of Tsushima. That was and samurai stuff is my jam. So like I
haven't played that game yet, but I plan on playing it.
Man,
they just came out the director's cut too, so I was like, yeah, definitely gotta get it.
Director's cut, and there's also doing like the new like DLC stuff and like online. So yeah, Ghost of Tsushima was my jam. I knew as soon as Cyberpunk 2077 came out, it was
over.
Wouldn't be able to. It was over. So
I knew that.
I don't play that. Yep, I knew that wasn't gonna go well. I got it, but I hardly play it. I rarely touch it. I'm probably like 20% through, honestly.
Yeah, I stopped playing. I'm waiting for the next gen upgrade.
Yeah. So I stopped playing it altogether. Like I'll go back to playing Last of Us Part 2.
I still gotta play that.
Yeah, I go back to play that because no matter what was said about the video game, it's a good game in my eyes.
It's one of the best games of all time. It has the most awards ever.
It's a great game. The second one is like people were so upset about things that would happen in it. It is a crazy fucking story.
They're upset because it drove their emotions. Like it literally
exactly. It should. It should. It's a storytelling game, and it told the fuck out of a story. It's so good. So I go back to playing that here and there, but yeah, that PS4 has dust on it for sure, man. So yeah, the big adjustments I want to say with art. So it's no longer like I'm gonna do art all day to day. It's like that's not it. It's I would do art once the time is available to do that. But thank goodness for Jet. She can, she'll sacrifice time and everything like that. I can get stuff done. Thank God for, like I said, support system with family and friends. Like, hey, I need to spend this whole day doing this mural. Can you watch Juniper Jet at work? They're like, absolutely. So family, friends, that's clutch. If you can have a good support system with that, and that's where it's at for sure. But no, it's a lot of, especially with the murals now, it's a lot of late nights. Like once I get home, get ready, do the family stuff, go out, do a mural. I get home at like 3 a.m. and then get up at 6 o'clock because Junie is clockwork for Junie. She's like 6:45 to have her first like bottle or meal, and then she's up, and then Jet runs off to work. I run her off to the babysitter. I run to work, and it's just like repeat, you know. So yeah, it's adjustments were not doing that whole gamer thing, not doing like art every day. But it's crazy because it's like it challenges you because you feel comfortable with what you're doing all the time.
Right.
And then doing that, it challenges you. I'm gonna see if I can turn on her laptop to get some light in here.
But say I got you on my monitor, and I have you on my phone just in case, like monitoring some stuff, and you're still pretty good.
Oh, okay, good. So yeah, it was just doing that, but it like I said, like it challenges you because you get comfortable. This is what life is, you know. I do this, and it's like boom, throws you to loop, and it's like to adjust that. You're a completely new person now, right? You're completely new who you were from months and months ago, and I like it. You know, it's a different challenge, and now if I do get a chance to sit down and pick up the PS4 controller, like it's a reward, or like
you're gonna appreciate it more.
Appreciate it so much more. So like there'd be times I game and I'm like, this is before I met Jet. This is when it's like single years. I gamed for so long. And I look at the time like, yo, you know what? Let me put this down. Let me go do something in reality for a while.
Right. I've been playing the game for 3 days straight. Didn't
I've
leave
been
the
putting
house.
so much time into no reality that unreality. I gotta do something in real life real quick. But yeah, there's some adjustments to it, but it's all worth it, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, and definitely, I'm ready for the challenge too, personally myself, because like I'm always ready to challenge myself. How can I become better? How can I change for the better and whatnot? Because like I game 24/7. I got my podcast to worry about. I got my full-time job. Like if I having a kid, that's another full-time job. So that's 3 full-time jobs. So playing game is obviously going to have to go from 4 or 5 hours a day to maybe an hour a day, if that, maybe. But enjoy the time that I do get with it. But I do got a question though, is what impacts did it have on like y'all relationship, like you and Jet personally, and like how did you guys learn to adapt and work with one another?
So like thank goodness like we were already in like a relationship that was solid beforehand. I feel like a lot of people, I can't say a lot of people because I don't want to offend anybody, but people I feel like people have like, oh, maybe the relationship isn't good. Let's have a living, breathing person. Maybe this will make things better. No,
that's not usually how that works. But
so it's like we were great place, and then Junie happened. Even greater stuff happened. So like what was even already strong, which has made us stronger completely. There was nothing, you know. Life isn't a fairy tale, so there's some, you know, things that will, you know, come up like little tiny, like, oh, what's that? Like, it's life, you know, some normal people living together, having a child together and everything. But for majority of it, I'm not even capping, like, it's like things are like perfect with it. It's so crazy to say that. And like, because perfect is such a crazy word to use. But
perfect can only be defined by the individual itself and how what's going on
exactly what our perfect would be. Exactly.
Nothing's really perfect, but how you interpret it might be perfect to you.
Exactly.
That's how I would interpret that as.
And the way she moves in life, the way I move in life is it complements each other. Her strengths, you know, recover for my weaknesses and vice versa. I think that's going to play a great part with raising Juniper for sure, as you know, a little baby girl. But it's growing wise. It definitely, not that we weren't mature before, but it kind of like matured us even a little bit more, you know, to have things more on point. You know, it isn't just like, you know, we'll get around to doing something when we both know we feel like we're going to do something. Like we come together collectively, like, yo, we should probably get around to doing something. To doing that certain thing, we got to do it. and also becoming like homeowners. Like we bought our first home in January, so we
That's
now
big.
have a home too. Yeah, it's a big thing. So it was like boom and then boom again.
Hmm.
So, and then doing that, knowing that like, yeah, there ain't no landlord gonna take care of this. Ain't no landlord gonna take
You were the
care of that.
landlord.
That's us. That's us. We take care of this, and it's been fun though. It's been fun. Like we just before Juniper's birthday, like we redid our pergola that's out back. Like we freaking shipped over the stones. We cleared out like all this weeds. Her father helped us a lot too,
Hmm.
with all the lawn work and everything. But it's just something you do, and then you take pride in. Like, damn, we did that. You
Yeah.
know, I think that's the best part for me is knowing that like, damn, we're both doing this together, and
Right.
it's just, yeah, it's a feel good feeling for sure.
No, no, man. That's definitely awesome
Hmm.
to hear. So what is your favorite part about being a dad so far? Like what has been your best memory with Juniper and just your
Oh
family in general?
man.
I know there's probably tons of
Oh
them, but there
yeah.
gotta be
I
one
mean,
that stands out.
one just happened yesterday. Actually, one just happened yesterday. But I'll get back to the best memory when she was first born. One just happened yesterday, and I was just me and Juniper in the house, which I'm like, it happened. I'm like, who else is here? It's only me here to see this. Oh shit. So, um, we had the live action Lion King on.
Oh,
So
I love
yeah,
that movie.
so I had that playing on the TV. I'm just holding her and like dancing with her and everything like that, and bouncing up and down. And it came to a part where Rafiki is like busting open the red branches, and
Hmm.
he takes it over top of Simba's, and Juniper's like locked eyes on this, because it's the whole Circle of Life song playing. It's all
Hmm.
these animals everywhere. She's locked on to the TV, and Simba, turns his head and he
Yeah.
puts the red dust over Simba's forehead, and he sneezes. And after he sneezes, she just lets out the cutest like little giggle, like she got that, like she's like
Yeah, she understood.
like she like giggled. And I'm like, oh my god, like it's only
There's
it's
nobody
a,
else there to experience it with you. You're just like,
it's only me. Like, so that was definitely a great memory. Um,
that's
and
gonna be
then
with
when
you
she,
until you die.
yeah,
That's gonna be
yeah,
one of those moments.
it's not recorded. It's no one else is there. That was like a memory for me,
It's crazy
and
to
that was
think like
pretty.
I had like me growing up, like when I was born, like Lion King had just came out, and like I apparently like loved Lion King, and like when I was born in Charleston, South Carolina, but my mom and dad would
Mm,
travel up and back between PA, and like I could
mm.
only listen to Lion King's cassette tape, otherwise I'd be crying.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh man, you all
Yeah.
about the Lion King.
I'm all by the Lion King. So you
Mm,
had me clicked. I was like, oh, you got a Lion
mm.
King story. Oh yeah, it's got to be.
Oh yeah,
So
oh
yeah, that's
yeah,
definitely dope to hear, man, for sure.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I know
Yeah,
you got some more to
there's
talk about here.
there's a lot of memories. Just yeah, the one when she was first born. Just it was Jet was sleeping. She was sleeping. It was the first morning spending with Juniper, like having it with her.
Hmm.
And she was sleeping. She was exhausted and everything. It was just her and Juniper and I up. And I was sitting on like the daddy chair they have, like a little
Yeah.
bed chair thing. And there was a window behind us, and the sun was just coming in. Like the rays were just like, I wrote this on Instagram and Facebook about when her first, her birthday and everything like that. But like the rays were coming in, they were like warming us up and everything. And I'm just looking down at her, just like seeing this life that like Jet and I combined just made. And it was just peaceful. There was like nothing going on. It was just her and I in that moment. Like I will always remember that. That was like probably the best memory. Again, I was bawling at the same time. I
That's all
was
right though.
crying my eyes out. And that's probably like one of the best memories right there for sure.
Man,
Yeah.
I personally can't wait to experience these kind of moments, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be a dad, and
It's
just
beautiful,
really looking
man.
forward to it, for sure.
It is definitely beautiful. I know there's gonna be times where I'm gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Right?
But
Yeah. I
right
mean,
now,
enjoy
yeah,
it while you
right
can,
now
right?
it's great. Oh yeah, right now it's great. Hmm.
But do you plan on having more kids at all?
No, no.
No, one and done, eh?
One and done. And we talked about it. I mean, we can't ever say never, but we talked about it. Um, and I remember we talked about it. Jet had Junie, came home, and then it was probably like a week or two later. Jet was like, "Yeah, I think one and done." I go, "Really?" She was like, yeah, I think one. It was just not. It was like out of nowhere. It was like she was like, yeah, I think one and done. I was like, oh, okay. Um, I was like, why? Because it went so smooth. It was so easy the first time
Hmm.
that she was like, I wouldn't want to like have a second birth and like it would just be like rough. Like
Yeah.
Jet never got sick. She never got sick. She never, puked any of that stuff like that. No crazy swelling. And like it
Hmm.
was literally just Jet, but she had a baby in her.
Right.
It was that's she still did the everyday Jet stuff. She still it was Jet was like it was easy and she was in labor for like 7 hours, only 7 hours, and then like she did like 8 pushes and boom, Junie was here. And so
Jeez.
it's so perfect. I know there's many mothers out there that have had complications and everything like that, and like my heart goes to you and everything. And it's just like we know that, and so like we're just satisfied and happy with how this went. So
Right.
yeah. For now, one and done. We say,
Yeah. Maybe
yeah,
maybe it'll change in the future.
yeah. We have dope names like Juniper. Juniper came from a TV show. We're sitting watching the show, and someone said Juniper, and we're like, "Ooh,
Oh,
that's
it
good."
hit
We're
the
like, "That's
spot.
good." We're like, that's it. Like, no matter what, that's gonna be it. And so we're like, "All right, cool." So the boy, though, if we were gonna have a boy, it was gonna be Atlas.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like
Y'all trying to
Juniper
be
Atlas.
unique, unique.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got Tristan, you got Jet. We're not gonna go with like. And never, I'm not gonna say no names because it might
Yeah, it
might
might
get
hurt
someone.
somebody's feelings these
That
days,
might
you
hurt
know.
someone's feelings. And then you see like Liam left chat. Like, oh,
Oh,
sorry.
damn. That's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, man. Do you got any advice for any soon-to-be fathers out there,
Hmm.
including myself potentially?
Um. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'll do it like I'm saying it to you. You'll feel like sleep will never happen again.
Mhm.
It does. It does happen again.
That's
It
good to
really
hear.
like you in the beginning, like, no, it's impossible. Why would I ever sleep again? Because you can't because of the baby.
Right.
But like, no, it does, and I can't like. Juniper was very well with it. Like she was, like I said, everything sounds it so like perfect when I say things, but like she was literally good at sleeping. Like she sleeps, she'll go down at like 7 o'clock. She'll wake up at 6:45. I know a lot of people have, parents have issues with their children sleeping, but she's so good. Um, but yeah, when you are up at like that 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, you're like just bouncing the entire night. You're like, I'm never gonna actually get solid sleep. It does. It comes back around, and you're good. Um, Definitely do shifts. We did shifts like the way our schedules were. I do a certain amount of days waking up with Junie, and then Jet would do a certain amount of days waking up with Juniper in the morning or whenever she would wake up. That helps so much. So to having someone dedicated, like, oh no, it's you do this all the time. Like, no, we had shifts. We know like these days you do it, these days I do it. So there's no confusion with it. Like if it's a Wednesday, I know my ass is getting up and
Right.
I have to rock her back to sleep. If it's a Friday, Jet knows she's getting up, she's rocking her back to sleep. So I
Yeah, it
say
definitely
definitely
helps when
have
you
that.
can have a schedule. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely have that. Um, it's a constant thing. It is constant. I know it sounds like, of course it is. You're a parent all the time, but like it is like you absolutely feel like it is a constant thing. It's like constant, constant, constant. But
Hmm.
it gets to be so constant, you're just like, oh, it's normal. It's okay.
Right.
Like it's like
You get
this
adapted
is
to it.
our
You get
life.
adjusted. Yeah.
In the beginning, you're like, oh my God, we're still like, it's constant
Hmm.
parenting. Like this,
Right.
but it's the point is like, oh yeah, duh,
It's something
Definitely. So
different. Like it changes like
yeah,
your usual routine that you were so used to for so many years of not
yeah,
having that
yeah,
extra person to actually take care of
hmm
and worry about. To, oh shit, I got to care for this
yeah,
individual, this
yeah,
human being now. Got to make sure that they're
hmm
good to go and healthy
yeah.
and safe and all that other stuff.
But
Like changes
she's so
everything.
much fun. Like now, she's so much fun. When she was a baby, she was just a blob, just laying around. But like, she's so much fun now. Just like she wants to do stuff. She's scooching on the floor, so she doesn't like to crawl. She's not a crawling baby. She's gonna go from scooching right to walking. I know
Yeah.
it. She's gonna be walking before we know it. Um, but yeah, she's mobile, man. She's ready to go. What else? Hmm. Oh, yeah, this is big. So before even Juniper was born, Jet and I told each other, we are still who we are, right? He said that this might sound weird to some people watching it to say this, because a lot of people think like, what? No, that's wrong to say. Like, but we said that Juniper was coming into our lives, right? Like, so
Fair
like
enough.
we still believe in doing what we would do. Like, we're not going to have her strapped to our chest going downtown and partying,
Right.
but like she's coming into our lives. So like we should still do the things that make us happy, who we are. Um, so that's something that we live by to this day and still do. Like we're doing something like fun or climbing or doing this or going to somewhere like Junie comes with, and she gets to know these are normal, regular things. So always still be you know that you're still an individual and also a couple at the same time. It's still weird to
No,
say, but like
I'm
you're still
understanding.
you. Do your thing, and as a couple, still I realize that you do your thing too. And then there's like you guys as parents as a whole too. So yeah, don't lose yourself. I feel like a lot of people like lose themselves, but yourself is what's gonna make your parenting so unique, and also
Mhm.
your child to like love either one of you is you being you, like whatever type of you know hobbies or things like that. Like, don't lose that stuff, because that's the stuff that they're gonna look at and like, oh man, mommy does this, that's so cool. Oh, daddy does this, that's so cool.
Right.
So don't lose yourself in that stuff. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
definitely agree. That's
that's probably
definitely
the
important.
biggest one for me, is that one
Yeah, I
right
like that.
there
I
to say.
definitely like that. That's definitely important to never lose
Yeah.
yourself no matter what. And that, I mean, that,
Hmm.
honestly, that's in life in general, like in any situation. Kids,
Hmm.
new job, someone passes away, like whatever it is, like don't lose yourself just because of something else has happened. So it's definitely important.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
you got any last input here before we close out the tonight's episode?
Hmm.
You'll get a second to plug in your social links here
Okay.
in a few minutes. Okay, go ahead and
The
include that.
last input.
Yeah, anything on any of the
Yeah.
topics we covered.
Um, I say, yeah, just create every day, no matter what that creation may be. Um, I feel like a
Art
lot
piece or
of
a kid.
art piece, exactly. Like, create every day, no matter what you do. Because I feel like life can definitely make you forget about what you love to do and everything like that. We can get lost in the everyday normality of doing what you're supposed to do. You just got to break away. And I feel like that's what this is gonna be long, but COVID had definitely taught a lot of people is to, what do I love to do? Maybe that wasn't what I love to do. And I've had guests, I massaged them. They said they quit their job so they can make like pottery or something. So it's like I feel like there's a awakening with people like saying like, F this stuff, I'm gonna do this instead because it makes me happy. So do whatever makes you happy. Um, yeah, live life. Um, yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
nah, it's all good, man.
But
That's
yeah, man.
yeah, but yeah, man, what a conversation, man. We just had it for about an hour and 20 minutes, but it is time to wrap this up here. Personally, want to
Nice.
take the
Okay.
time out
Okay.
to thank you for coming on to the show tonight. Definitely really enjoyed this conversation. This is actually my longest episode yet. We talked about a
Yeah,
lot. It wasn't just you talking. It
we
wasn't just
did.
me talking. This was a great conversation.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
thanks for coming on to the
Bouncing back
show.
and forth. It was nice. Oh
For
yeah.
sure. But we would like to thank everybody who did show up today live, that did check us out live and engaged in our chat here. But we also want to thank everybody who does check us out later on our YouTube channel, for sure.
Hmm.
But Tristan, where can we find you at, man? This is where you can plug in all your websites, social media, anything like that.
Hmm. Hmm. So where you can mainly find a lot of my work, majority, actually all of my work, is on Instagram, bondofart.com. BOND underscore OF underscore ART. So Bond of Art on Instagram. You can check me out on Facebook too. A lot more that is more family. So if you want to see a lot more Junie, a lot more Jet, a lot more us doing our thing, Tristan Bond on Facebook. Check me out there. So I think you definitely want to do that because you get to see Juniper's progression in life. She was born with a cleft lip palate, so we get to see her progression from her. She was born with that to where she is now. She's already had her first surgery. She has 2 more to go. So you guys can like rock along with us on Juniper's journey is to see, where she ends up. So check me out there. Facebook, which is like I said, TristanBond.com, Tristan Bond, and Instagram, Bond of Art.
Cool.
And yeah, just check me out with anything that's new, what's going on in the city. Feel free to DM any ideas, any commission work you want to do. Yeah. Vic, thank you again for
Of
having
course,
me.
man. Of course,
This is
yeah.
fun. This is fun. This is my second podcast I've done. The first one was with my buddy Kyle Castle.
Okay.
We mainly talked about a whole bunch of like anime and everything like that, which I dig too. There's a lot of fun, but this is my second one. This is definitely a fun one right here I had. So
Okay.
thank you
Okay.
for having
Of
me.
course, man. Of
Thank
course.
you.
Yeah. Sounds like I got to get you on my other podcast, my Press Start podcast, the gaming one. Seems like you're a big gamer, so I got to get you over there
I'm
for sure.
there. I'm there. Yeah, I'm
Those are
there.
every Sunday at 7 p.m. for if you didn't know and
Okay.
anybody else who is listening in, it is every Sunday at
Okay.
7 p.m. But
Cool.
you can
Cool.
check me out at Twitter at Mr. Never Chillin _ Xbox is xNever space chillin. Party, game up, talk, whatever, hit me up. Facebook is Vic Brubacher. Questions, concerns, want to come on the show, hit me up for sure. My personal Twitch channel is twitch.tv/Mr. Never Chillin. That has been pretty quiet lately. I've been streaming a lot here on this channel to try to grow this community and whatnot. But definitely check these episodes out. They're usually every Monday or every other Monday at 7 p.m. Next guest I'm going to have on to the show is Tristan Miller. We're going to be talking about being aware and consciousness and stuff like that. A little bit talking about in depth in the individual of a person. So check out that episode for sure. But definitely want to thank everybody again. But until next time, peace.